Little Leo was a lion cub, full of playful spirit. His fur was the colour of warm sand. His eyes, bright as amber, missed nothing. He lived on the great African plains. The sun was his friend, warming his small back. His father was the great king of these lands. Leo, though a prince, was still very young. He had many lessons yet to learn. He loved to chase butterflies in the morning light. His mother often chuckled at his playful tumbles. Leo often watched the grown-up lions. They would walk far, far away. Leo dreamed of those distant places. He wanted to see what lay beyond the big rock. His mother would say, "Stay near, my little sunshine." But Leo's small paws longed for new paths. He imagined secret watering holes. He thought of mysterious, shady forests. The world seemed a vast and wonderful map. And Leo, the cub, wished to explore every part of it. One bright morning, Leo woke before the others. The air was fresh and cool. His mother was resting peacefully nearby. His father, the king, was already out, watching over their pride. Leo saw a little path, one he had not seen before. He crept away, quiet as a little mouse. The tall grass tickled his whiskers. He went further than his mother allowed. New smells filled his nose. New sounds made his ears twitch with excitement. He felt like a great hunter. But Leo was still a very small lion. His paws were tiny, not yet mighty. His roar was not a roar at all. It was more like a little squeak, a kitten's call. He could not run as fast as the wind. He did not know all the dangers of the wild. He knew his family kept him safe and sound. They were strong and they were wise. Today, however, he was on his own adventure. He felt quite brave and very independent. He did not yet understand what true danger was. As Leo trotted through the unfamiliar grass, he felt a change. The air grew still and a little cold. He did not know why, but his happy feeling lessened. He looked around with his bright eyes. He saw shadows moving where no shadows should be. These were not the shadows of trees or rocks. They were slinking, low to the ground. A shiver ran down his small, sandy back. He suddenly wished for his mother's warm side. Then he saw them clearly, a pack of jackals. Their fur was dusty and their eyes were sly. They were not friendly like the zebras he sometimes saw. These creatures had sharp teeth and hungry looks. One jackal, with a torn ear, let out a soft yelp. The others gathered, forming a circle around Leo. They moved slowly, step by silent step. Leo knew, deep in his little heart, this was trouble. He was far from home and far from help. Leo felt a great fear grip him. His tiny legs began to tremble. He was just one small cub. They were many, and they were bigger than him. He could hear their soft, panting breaths. He could smell their wild, musky scent. The jackals looked at him, their tongues lolling. They thought he was an easy meal, alone and lost. Leo wanted to run, to flee as fast as he could, but the circle of hungry eyes held him fast. The jackal with the torn ear stepped closer. He grinned, showing his sharp, pointed teeth. "Well, well," he sneered, his voice like dry leaves rustling. "What have we here? A little morsel lost from his mummy?" The other jackals chuckled, a nasty, grating sound. Leo pressed himself low to the ground. He wished he could disappear into the earth. He was very, very frightened. But a tiny spark of his father's courage began to glow within him. Leo, though his heart hammered like a drum, remembered his father. The king was brave, the king was strong. Leo was his son. He had to be brave too, even if he was small. He tried to make himself look bigger. He puffed out his little chest as much as he could. He tried to remember the sound of his father's roar. He took a deep breath, ready to face them. He would not let them see all his fear. He opened his mouth and let out his loudest sound. It was not a mighty roar, of course. It was more like a determined squeak, a brave little yelp. "Grrr! Eek!" he went, trying to sound fierce. The jackals paused for a moment, surprised. Then the torn-eared leader began to laugh, a harsh, cruel sound. The other jackals joined in, mocking Leo's tiny defiance. "Is that your big roar, little lion?" sneered one. "It sounds like a trapped mouse." Despite their laughter, Leo stood his ground. He would not run. He would not cower. He swiped a small paw at the nearest jackal. It was not a powerful blow, but it was a brave one. The jackal easily dodged it, snapping its jaws. Leo knew he could not win a fight, But he would not give up without trying. He was the son of the king, after all. He had to show some royal spirit, even if it was just a tiny bit. The jackals began to close in. Their circle grew tighter. Leo could feel their hot breath. He could see the hunger in their gleaming eyes. He braced himself, ready for their attack. He thought of his mother's gentle nuzzle. He thought of his father's protective presence. He wished he had listened and stayed close to home. But even in his fear, he found a small, burning anger. He would not be an easy catch for these bullies. He prepared for the worst. Just as the jackal with the torn ear lunged, a sound split the air. It was not a squeak, it was not a yelp, it was a roar. A roar so loud it shook the very ground. It was a roar full of power and fury. It was the roar of the king. The jackals froze in mid-step, their nasty grins vanishing. Their eyes, once full of cunning, now showed pure terror. They knew that sound. Every creature on the plains knew that sound. Through the tall grass, a huge figure appeared. It was Leo's father, the mighty Lion King. His mane was like a golden crown around his noble head. His eyes blazed with anger. He was magnificent and terrible to behold. He saw his little son surrounded by the cowardly pack. One look at Leo, small and frightened but trying to be brave, filled the king with righteous rage. He bounded forward, a golden streak of power. The jackals did not wait. They turned and fled, yelping in fear. Their earlier boldness was gone, replaced by panic. The king did not even need to chase them far. His presence, his anger, his mighty roar was enough. He sent them scattering in all directions, their tails tucked between their legs. They would not trouble this part of the plains again for a very long time. The king stood, watching them go, ensuring they were truly gone. Then his anger softened as he turned to Leo. He nuzzled his son gently. "Little one," he rumbled, his voice now soft but firm. "You were very brave, but you were also very foolish to wander so far." Leo, safe now, rubbed his head against his father's strong leg. He knew he had been wrong. The king licked Leo's head. "Courage is good, my son, but wisdom is knowing when not to seek danger. Let us go home." And together, the king and his little prince walked back towards the safety of their pride.